Are we live? Oh, we're live. Okay. It's your boy Brandon Chung, man, and I'm back at it again. And we got Flipping Steve. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. What about yourself?
Hey, I'm good. Anytime I'm talking about cards and the hobby, and just sharing information and learning. Learning is my favorite part about it. Like I don't
Yeah,
know everything. I pass on information, but man, I'm always trying to learn stuff too.
yeah. I mean, for sure. Same here. I want to learn. Like, just tell me something you're thinking about. Anything in the soccer cards? Anything you noticed, like going up or whatever you want to talk about?
Yeah. Well, soccer. It's pretty much the cat's out of the bag. It's like Messi and Ronaldo become untouchable. I mean, these cards that were like $40 last month raw are like 300.
Yeah, that's
Um,
ridiculous.
But if you follow trends, just like in any other sport, when certain superstars, hit the pinnacle, especially your top guys, there's other superstars. There's
Yeah,
more than just Messi and Ronaldo, uh,
totally.
and it's going to trickle. It'll trickle over because people will start to buy players that they can afford, and they'll also see that there's value in soccer by seeing that there's value in Messi and Ronaldo. They'll no longer be scared to buy some of these guys that personally think are superstars and are underpriced. One of them I did notice today, a guy I was buying up really shot up today, and I'm like, dang, I'm almost out on him now because he's
Oh
shot up.
wow. Wait,
Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne.
oh my goodness. Very
His
simple.
2016 Euro Prism hit like
Wow.
$50 raw today, and I remember when they were $3.
Yeah, I know. Wait, $50 for real?
Yeah, I was looking at them because I wanted to buy myself some more,
Yeah,
and they're going crazy.
I know. Hey, all the Prism card, like the Euro 2016 and the World Cup, just I don't know what happened. Like
Yeah,
it felt like one day for me. Everything, boom. Like have you noticed that? Like
yeah, and like I said, I did do a video yesterday talking about, and I mentioned in that the prism in soccer, more so than any other sport, is just on fire. If it has the word prism in it,
yeah,
I know it's like that in basketball and everything else, but in soccer, you have cards that are like 2015 of say somebody like Kevin De Bruyne, and he'll have like a select card
right,
that would technically should be his rookie card. I know they have stickers, but
right.
I guess you could categorize, and I know there's the debate between what's the rookie, and I don't know if you could actually just break it down to okay, well, there's a sticker and there's a card. If you're talking a rookie card, you got a rookie card, and if you're talking a rookie sticker, you got a rookie sticker. I don't know if you just depict one thing as being the rookie, unless you break it down into stickers and cards, and I'm a little confused with that too.
Okay.
I don't know much about the stickers. I wish I did, um, but like the 2016 Prism, which is a year after the 15 Select, is like double the value or the double the selling price right
Yep.
now on the market of the Select, which would you would think would be the rookie card.
Right, and it's very difficult. First of all, what's up, Shake and Bake Sports Cards, and what's up, Sean Singh? What's up, guys? We got
What's up, Sean? Sean, like I know Sean's into soccer too.
really, and so if you
Yeah,
guys have questions, like let us know. But I will say, it's a Euro 2016 person, so that's the one in every 4 year tournament, like the second most major soccer tournament. So maybe that's why. So maybe there's more than one rookie card.
yeah, it
That's
could
pretty
be.
cool.
Um, yeah, I don't, and a lot of people look at him and say, yeah, like first World Cup card, because even the 2018s Kevin De Bruyne cards have gone way up. He has the 2016, which is his first Prism, but it's not a World Cup card. It's just it's different. It's a different market to follow. Definitely, soccer is. You can't just pinpoint one card or anything. But I'm not sure if I DC'd or maybe we lost Brandon. What's going on, Sean? What's up, man? Yeah, I think we might have lost Brandon temporarily. You guys got any questions or anything you want to ask about any sports card or anything in general? Check on him. Yo, what's up, Sports Card Mafia? Hey, if you guys can hear me out there, I lost Brandon. I think he's trying to get back on. Yo, what's up, Sports Card Mafia? Do I think Prism and Mosaic will be this year's generation junk wax? Man, that's a good question. It's hard to say anything's going to be junk wax with the grading companies because what happens is you even saw where some of the junk wax from the late 90s had a resurgence with PSA grading, you know, the McGuire's, the Bonds cards. Do I think there's mass production going on? Yes, definitely. More Prism comes out every year. That's why I try to tend a little bit, steer a little bit towards select products because it's hobby only. A lot of these products that are in retail, like Prism and Optic, they just keep pumping it out because it's selling and they're a business. So right now, you know, if you're looking for quick flips and to sell cards, you know, Prism is the way to go. There's nothing like it in the hobby, but Select to me is personally my favorite brand if we're talking basketball cards. And I just like the look of it. The quality control on it is way better because it's a hobby only product. You don't have as many centering issues. They're better grading candidates by far. You know, you pull a nice card out of a select, more than likely the centering on is going to be pretty decent. The corners are hard to ding, usually got nice edges. They do have a chromium finish, so they can scratch, but not anywhere nearly as bad as Prism, and not nearly as mass produced. As long as there's a demand to balance out the supply, there will always be the value. You just worry about people pulling out, and then you have all these extra cards. That's the one thing that always has scared me off of the Luka Prisms. I've bought a couple, but I didn't go deep on Luka 2018 Prisms, and they're really valuable right now, but there's probably about 15,000 PSA 10s in the pop, and to me, right now, the supply and demand, the demand is there, but it only takes an injury or even the Mavericks not, getting knocked out of the playoffs for that demand to dip a little bit, and then you have a whole lot of supply.
Hello?
There he is.
Hey, my apology.
The man of the hour, the man with the power.
Oh my goodness. Literally, sorry, this has got to be the worst stream. And thank you so much, Steve, for taking over the show.
No, man, that's all right.
Man, because my wife I just shut off magically, right?
Hey, man, you can't control that stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not your fault. I've had people go completely Mr. Roboto on me before, and it's just like, nah,
Jeez. Oh, okay. So where do we? Or you were answering questions?
Yeah, there was a question by Sports Card Mafia. He was asking, do I think Prism and
Oh.
Mosaic, will this be this generation's junk wax? I answered it, but I wasn't really sure if I was live or not because I just wasn't sure if I was broadcasting since you were down. So, hey, I answered it. Okay, he says totally agree. So he must have heard my answer. All right, that's what's up.
My apology. Well,
hey, that's all right.
Card Mafia. That's my guy right there, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, man. Okay, we are fully back this time. I have everything set up. Steve saved the ship. Yeah, he saved it. Man.
That's all right. Wow. Going down.
Oh my goodness. So I mean, whatever else you want to talk about too, like I know Prism is going crazy. Any other soccer brands you're looking at in terms of?
Let's see, brands. Well, Panini pretty much just cornered the market on the leagues. Yeah. If the copyright licenses going all the way back to 2014 Prism, they only had the rights to the national teams.
Right.
That's why all those cards are all in national teams, and it wasn't until 2018, I don't think, or the end of 2018 that they acquired everybody except for Bundesliga. They let Topps get Bundesliga, who Panini did have, and Topps had Premier League. And they let Topps have Bundesliga. They took Premier League as well as League One. They took Serie A. They took La Liga. So now Panini has pretty much got the market cornered on the bigger leagues. I'm a fan of Bundesliga, to be honest. I think that's where it almost feels like a farm club or a farm system because it seems like all the young talent leaves. Exactly. But but if that's where you can get the first cards of some of those young talented guys, it's a good brand. It's a good league for Topps to have, more so than I think League One. You have Mbappe and Neymar, but after that, I don't know what you really have.
Yeah, I mean, Bundesliga is definitely that they're going to buy and sell young players at a consistent rate. Liga, they call that the Farmers League. Because it's major league, but less talent. But PSG, there's always in Monaco too. They usually have some young products coming through there. So.
Um, and I'm surprised that the Jadon Sancho deal didn't go through.
I know, and I got my Manchester United on right
Yeah,
now.
I was talking about that. I'm just like, man, I'm like, I thought it was a wrap.
I know, and
They
then
just ran out
all
of time.
they ran out of time. Dortmund put a deadline, and then we just have
Yeah,
to
they
wait.
wanted a lot. They wanted too much.
They did like when you're like talking about 80 and 100 and something, like it's just too far off.
Well, you like Man U, so who would you? I mean, the front line is good. I mean, who would it move off that front line for Sancho? Do you think?
I have no idea. I feel like Greenwood is probably, playing every match, and since he's 19, maybe
Yeah,
they want to rest every other game and somehow just mix all
yeah.
those guys,
Put them on a
just
rotation.
put them
Yeah,
on a different rotation. Exactly. What's going on, Braden Burks? But yes, that's what I would do. Manchester United always signs the flashy people, so
yeah. If you would have Sancho and Greenwood both really young, I guess they could rotate because then you have Anthony. What?
yeah.
I say his name wrong, we get blasted. Marshall, but and Rashford. So
Yes, that's true. And then Marcus Rashford as well.
yeah,
Uh, and Bruno Fernandez.
yeah, Bruno. Yeah.
It's confusing how they would fit Jadon Sancho in there. I'm not really too sure.
What's that?
I'm really not sure how they would fit Jadon Sancho in that
Yeah, I
lineup.
know. I mean, I guess because he has so much talent.
Yeah,
I watch some soccer news here and there, and it was the same debate a lot of the famous or the sportscasters were having, and they were just most of them were talking about Marshall being out.
yeah. I mean, potentially, but
But
um,
without him, I don't think they would have made that run they made at the end of the season this year.
yeah,
He was
probably not.
huge.
Yeah, he was so clinical, man. They need him, and they need Bruno Fernandez. That's like their main dudes right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Well, what do you think about the NBA right now, man? Who's gonna be in the eighth seed? I think Memphis. Did Memphis lock it up today?
Memphis locked it up today. In terms of being in the play-in, if that
Yeah.
makes, I don't know. I think if Portland, if they get an 8 or 9 seed, they could potentially make that last spot in the playoffs.
Well, they control their own destiny. If they beat Brooklyn tonight, they're in the play-in.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because they won the other night. If they won both of their games and they beat Dallas the other night, that game was a big-time game.
I know.
Damian Lillard went off.
He got like 61 points. Oh
Yeah,
my, absolutely ridiculous. But yes,
and yeah, so they play the Nets tonight. If they win, they're in. If not, the Suns won today. The Suns beat Dallas today.
yeah.
So maybe the Suns would be in the play-in if Portland doesn't get in it.
I don't know. I think we can check somehow. I think I can pull up a thingy. So
Yeah.
let me see. If that's how I can do it. Or maybe that's not how I do. I'm sorry, Steve. I am new at this, man.
Hey, man, that's all right.
I thought you share a screen somehow. Oh no. Okay, I don't know how to share the screen. If anybody knows how to do it, because I'm trying to search up the NBA standings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't even know. Okay, I guess it's not showing up, but I know all the teams are within, 1 game of each other, right? The
Yeah.
Suns are 34 and 39. The Trailblazers are 34 and 39, right? So they all have the same record right now. So,
Trailblazers have a game tonight, though.
oh,
If
they
they
have
win, yeah, the Suns played this afternoon.
yeah, that's very true. So I mean, I feel like they'll lock it up against the Nets, but who knows what'll happen,
Yeah,
right?
the Nets are hurting, but yeah, you never know. And Memphis kind of got off the hook a little bit. They had to play Milwaukee, and they got Milwaukee without Giannis because Giannis had a game suspension.
Wow. So they
Yeah,
got.
he headbutted somebody.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so they gave him a 1 game suspension. So Memphis got to play their last game against Milwaukee, which was huge because if they play Milwaukee and lose, now you're talking about possibly the Suns and Portland.
Yes,
And
exactly.
they lucked out a little bit on that.
Yeah.
I don't
Man,
think they would have beat Milwaukee with Giannis.
No, not at all. I really don't think so. I
Although
mean,
a lot of those teams that have clinched the number 1, 2, and 3 seeds, they're not playing their stars. They don't want them to get hurt. The Celtics, I don't think they played a starter today.
really, they're just
Yeah, they played their entire
manufacturing.
bench. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's smart. That's what you got to do, though. I mean, that could kill card prices if someone gets injured right
Yeah,
before the
LeBron
play.
did. LeBron played in the Lakers game today. Anthony Davis didn't suit up, but
Huh.
LeBron played. But I don't know. I guess LeBron does whatever he wants.
Yeah, he does. I guess he's just trying to stay fit before the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
man. I mean, any sort of basketball cards you're picking up, or are you all soccer, or what's going on?
Oh no, I'm doing some basketball.
Good,
My
good.
my bread and butter when I got into cards flipping was NFL cards.
Really?
To be
Okay.
honest,
Huh.
and that's what got me back into it. I always collected NFL and baseball back in the day, but I was big time NFL. And then I was
Wow.
out for years. You know, the same story as everybody. I was out for years. I collected during junk wax. I got out around 99. I
Yeah.
remember buying lots of Peyton Manning's
Oh, wow.
and Randy Moss rookie cards during their draft year. And then I was
Shit.
pretty much out. Grading started becoming a more and more of a thing.
Huh.
Um, I sold my card collection. I got a lot of stuff graded and I sold it off just because I was young and I was looking to get out and get my, start getting my life started, And
Right. I got you.
so I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. So
Huh.
in 2012, they drafted Ryan Tannehill. And, I'm a longtime Dan Marino guy, but
Right.
I started buying some Ryan Tannehill cards. I bought a lot of his like contenders autographs. And
Wow.
that's like the card to have. And then he just bottomed out. It didn't work out in Miami. I don't think he really got the fair shake. They didn't ever really have a team around him. Terrible coach came in there with Adam Gase, and
Yeah.
I had all these Ryan Tannehill cards, and that's all I really had. I didn't have anything. I bought Tannehill cards just because I wanted to PC him. And
Wow.
then he went to Tennessee, and they knocked New England and the Ravens out of the playoffs last year. And his cards just go crazy, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Ridiculous.
I've had these cards up on the shelf for 8 years, thinking that they were garbage, and now all of a sudden this guy's resurrected his career, and I'm selling Tannehill cards raw here, 400, 300, and I'm like, dang, I got some money. What am I going to do with this? And I went in, I put it back in. I took that money and bought a couple of LeBrons and a couple Patrick Mahomes
Wow.
cards. And that's how it
Wow.
started. It just snowballed like that. Like I just got lucky with some Ryan Tannehills that were on the shelf. I took that money and bought Mahomes and LeBron before they really went nuts.
Wow.
And then, yeah, because LeBron was still cheap then.
Mhm.
And, well, not cheap, but
Right. He was more affordable at the time.
yeah, it was around January 31st because the Chiefs were going into the Super Bowl, and I was like, I need to get some Patrick Mahomes cards for it's too late, and I was
Right.
overpaying.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was overpaying, but I believe the card, had potential, so I was paying like 200, 220 when they were going for 180. But I wanted to get to buy
Wow.
it now. All the eBayers were smart. They set all their auctions to go off during halftime of the game, so it was like the auctions were going to be too late to get in on. They were either going to be going too high because they were going to be winning, or you weren't going to want them because they were going to be losing.
Yeah.
So they set it up perfect. So I did. I bought all the buy it nows that I saw on eBay for 225, 220. They were all optics actually. They were 2017 optics. It's a $1,500 card now. So
Wow.
I landed about
Goodness.
six of those, a little bit
Right.
over 200 each. I sold a couple. Actually, right after the Super Bowl, I sold like two just to recoup my pay in, and then I sold
Wow.
one last week on Instagram for 1475.
Oh my goodness. So did you sell out completely from Mahomes
No,
or?
I still have a couple.
Oh wow. That's a good strategy, right? You make profit where you need to, and then you just hold on to the rest if you believe that player is good.
Yeah, I try to get my expenses back, and then especially then because I mean I started getting back right around the Super Bowl time, and now it's like what is it? It's August, so
Yeah.
I've only been back in for 6 or 7 months,
That's
and I
pretty
just
good.
it was all about time, and it's lucky. It's not about me being some kind of ultimate investor and knowing what's going to happen. It was just I was lucky. It was all timing. It was I bought before the boom, and
Yeah.
it was just lucky. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to tell you that Patrick Mahomes is awesome, but
Exactly.
his cards were just cheap then. Nowadays, if somebody has one good game, you can't afford them anymore.
Right. I,
It's like
I know, and it shoots up so much, right? It's just such a reactionary, sports card market we have.
mm-hmm.
So it can, like, I mean, bowl scrimmage or something like that. I mean,
Yeah,
anything can happen. Like that's how I feel like with the Champions League, right? Like what's going to happen in these final 8 teams or whatever it is now. You know, like who knows what can happen?
the best thing about soccer is there's not much downtime. It seems like there's always something going on. And I
Exactly.
didn't even know that until last month. I was like,
Right.
well, Premier League's about done, and then Premier League ended, and then okay, here goes Champions League, and then okay, well, Premier League's going to be back in like September or whenever,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, okay, I like this, no downtime. It doesn't give you much of a buying window, but it keeps everything fresh.
Yeah, it keeps everything fresh, and I think that's what people need. They need a constant distraction. So I
Yeah,
mean, soccer, and with those three major tournaments delayed until 2021, it's just continuous soccer. It's just continuous events, chances for cards to go up or down in price.
yeah, I still have so much to learn about soccer. Like I said, I my first soccer card purchase was like the last week of May, and it was a Pulisic card, and that's just because
Right.
he was from the United States.
Yes.
And and then my second purchase was the lot that I was telling you about.
Yes,
And
that's
even when I
right.
bought that lot, I was like, man, $300 for three soccer cards. I was like, I think I'm crazy. And
Yeah. Now.
now it's like, man, if I didn't do that, I'd be looking back. I try to never look back with regret, whether it's a sale
Very good.
or whether I don't buy or whether I sell early. Uh,
Yes.
my rule of thumb is as long as I'm satisfied with my profit margin when I do decide to sell, I won't look back and regret because I'll be like, hey, I was satisfied at the time. It doesn't matter what happens
Right.
now.
Right. Right.
I'd rather sell a day early than a day late.
That's a very good philosophy to have, and me too. I sold off like a couple Joel Embiid Prism
Hmm.
cards. I still have one, and it's just like even though he went up in price, when I sold them, I said now look, the 76ers don't look too good. So sometimes I think you should take profits for people watching.
Yeah, there's only one card that I feel burned about, and but when I look at it, I wouldn't have had the money that I had to start what I have now if I didn't sell this card. Um,
Right.
like I said, I sold some Tannehills and I bought some Mahomes and some LeBron. I bought a LeBron card. I bought a LeBron card for like $800, and it
Yeah.
was a Topps Pristine refractor,
Wow.
BGS 10,
Mm.
and I sold it because I was going to a card show the next day, and I needed some cash in my pocket. It was going to be my first card show,
Right.
and I got 3,500 for it.
Oh my
So
goodness, man. Wow.
I had bought it for 800, and when I got offered 35, I was like, man, I got to take this.
Hmm.
The most recent sale of that card was 9,700. So I look and I'm
Right.
like, dang, but it
No.
is. I wouldn't have had. I look at what I have in my boxes now, and I'm like, well, I would none of that stuff that I was able to buy would have been possible because I wouldn't have had that $3,500 to snowball this stuff up either. I would have had
Yeah.
one LeBron card. I would have had all this stuff that I have now.
Yeah. I completely got you there. Iman has a question for us. He says, "Who's the second best American after Pulisic?" What do you think, my man?
Second best American. I mean, I know. Well, this guy's not American, even though he plays in Major League Soccer. I think.
Right.
The guy on Dortmund.
Oh, Giovanni Reina.
Yeah, the young guy.
Yeah,
Probably,
I think so.
probably Giovanni Reina. Yeah, his name was skipping me, but I know he plays for Dortmund.
Right.
Yeah,
There's a few other American prospects, but I think Giovanni Reina is pretty good. Like he's got a lot more frame than Pulisic, right? And he still
yeah.
has quick feet, but who
He's a
knows?
bigger guy. Yeah,
Yeah. and he had a really nice strike that one game, upper 90. But anyway, yeah, a good question, Iman.
Yeah. Iman, he knows a lot about soccer too. He's actually helped me out
Yeah,
with some of my purchases. Honestly, when I first got in, like I said, I was completely green in soccer. I actually got
right.
some advice from him. I've tried to educate myself as much as I can, but I watch videos like yours.
Oh, thank you, man.
Um, I watched Card Hour, who you actually had
Yeah,
on, and I
yes,
like
yes,
his because
bro.
he's got a European point of view, so he's got a little bit of a
Yeah.
different market over there and things like that, and um, just very educational. You guys were super educational to me.
Oh, thank
Um,
you, thank you.
because like I said, I just know what I was reading, and you can only read so
Right.
much. I was googling players and reading their history and their past, and I was the
That's
leagues.
good.
I was really confused when I first got into soccer. I thought there was one league. I thought there was a soccer league, and everybody played in it.
Yeah, that's like the whole perception because everybody's talking about like NBA is all one league. Oh,
Hmm.
Iman said Josh Sargent as well, but I don't know too much about Josh Sargent.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with him.
Yeah, but I mean, like a lot of these American prospects and these lower end Bundesliga teams, I would just do a lot of research before I buy anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I mean, and it's very good, for all of us to, as a community, to just get educated on soccer, right? We got a question from, if you see that, Steve, he
Yeah.
says, "Hey guys, Drake here. Who are you guys selling now in NBA, MLB, NFL, if any?"
Um. uh, I'm selling a lot of NFL stuff.
Oh wow,
Um.
okay.
I did a sales. I actually did a sales recap, small video, and I never do a sales recap. I don't talk about my sales because I'm not an "I told you so" type. Hey, I told you to get this type
Right,
person. I keep my sales
right,
and stuff to myself. But
right.
everybody was requesting one, so I did it, and I sold a lot of football stuff.
Huh.
And it's because all the quarterbacks are super expensive. All the quarterbacks are super high. I got in
Agree.
really low because, like I said, I was buying in January, February, March. I was buying a lot
Right.
of these cards for a tenth of what they're selling for now, and
Yeah.
everybody in right now in the NFL is buying quarterbacks as if they're going to win the Super Bowl. But there's
Okay.
32 teams, and there's only going to be one Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
You can't buy all 32 quarterbacks if you're trying to make money off who's going to win the Super Bowl because you're going to have money
Exactly.
invested in a bunch of losers.
Yeah. That's
And
exactly right.
so you can narrow it down to like four or five guys that you really think have a strong chance. You can go by Vegas odds. You can go by, if you follow the league yourself, you can go by that. Patrick Mahomes, of course, but I'm selling Patrick Mahomes right now because the
Wow.
price point I got in on, and I'm not selling him because I think he's going to go down. I'm not selling because I think the market's going to crash.
Of
None of that
course.
stuff. I'm just selling him because I was able to buy him at $200. So at
Exactly.
$1,500, he becomes a sale for me personally.
Right. Right.
But
Oh, that's
if you bought Patrick Mahomes a month ago for $800, maybe he's not quite a sale for you yet. So it's going to all
right.
depend on when you got in. That's why I tell everybody. I get a question all the time: when should I sell? And I'm like, it's just always going to be circumstantial to when you got in and what you're satisfied with. And like I was talking to you earlier about being comfortable with your profit margin.
That's right.
Um, in the NBA, it's funny because I'm buying and I'm selling the same player. So
You're about, yeah.
it kind of sounds weird, but
Yes. Yes.
what I'm doing is I'm selling graded Michael Porter Jr. cards,
Okay. Oh wow.
and I'm buying raw Michael Porter Jr. cards.
Right.
So I have some Prism PSA
Wow. Okay.
10s. I have some Prism PSA 10s that I got in on back before the playoffs. He was one of my guys, buy now for the playoffs. He could have a hot run.
Right.
And I bought some Prisms at $100
Right.
a card. I bought some PSA 10s already graded because by the time I would send them in, I wouldn't have gotten them back. So I bought some gradeds for $100
Mhm.
each, and
I
now they're
got
going for
that.
like 500. So I'm now
Whew.
reselling them off. And his select card, okay, not his Prism, but his select right now, graded is selling for like 300 to 350 in a
Oh
PSA
my
10,
goodness. Yeah.
but you can buy them raw for like 25 bucks.
Wow.
So
That's
to
a big
me, that's
difference.
just a big, even if you get that card back in a 9,
Yeah.
And if you sell the ones that you have now and he continues to go up, at least you have some coming back to you for next season.
Right.
If you don't sell the ones you have now and he flops in the playoffs, now you're stuck with a bunch of cards that you don't want. So that's why I'm buying and selling him at the same time. I'm selling him at high dollar, rebuying him in cheap to maybe build another snowball. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That snowball effect is so smart. Like, I've been doing like a similar thing. Like I told you, I was selling the Joel Embiid PSA 10, right? Not just because of, I think he's going to go down in price, but because I want to make my profit there and reinvest in soccer.
Yeah.
And just have a cash pile. Like I'm selling some NBA personally, and I don't have much of MLB at all, and I don't have much of NFL. So
Yeah, I'm not much into the MLB right now. I do
yeah,
baseball cards. Don't get me wrong, but the season took so
yeah,
long to get started. Everybody's reacting to somebody hitting one home run.
right.
That's probably the least amount of cards that I have, and I'm not really even selling because I don't have anybody to sell. I mean, I have Fernando Tatis Jr. stuff, which is
Okay.
hot.
Oh yeah, my bad.
But when I buy baseball, I buy the secondary products. I never buy Topps flagship. Topps
Okay.
flagship is the chase card. That's what everybody wants.
Right.
So I tend to go after heritage and like archives,
Okay.
already graded, because the pop reports are always lower. And if the flagship goes up, it's going to drag those other cards up with it, and you're going to be in at a lower price point. For instance, the Fernando Tatis flagship is one of the hottest cards on the market right now. They've hit like 250, but to get in on it, you had to buy it for like 90. So you're looking at $90 for a card that's up to 250 now. If that card would have tanked, you were out close to $100. Where the heritage you could get in for 300. I mean, for 30. I'm sorry, for $30 you could get in on the heritage, and now it's $100 card. So yeah, you're not seeing the lump sum that you're getting from the flagship, but you're in at a lower investment, a little safer, especially in baseball. It's so hard to gauge.
Yeah, that's a tricky thing about baseball. Like that's when I didn't really want to get into it. It was so much about baseball prospects, and I didn't even know which like players or type of brands to start out with. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah. What's up, card collector?
Yeah, car collector in the house, man. This is awesome. But I saw E-Man off of the stuff again. He says American collectors are screwing up the soccer market. We don't buy stickers and we overpay on rookies. I just thought that was like an interesting comment right there. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
If you have opinions on that or any thoughts?
Well, I really don't know. Like I said, I don't have much familiarity with the stickers.
Okay, right.
I don't necessarily, and I'll be the first to tell you, if I don't know much about something, I'm not going to sit here and make something up. I like to be honest with all my information. So I would rather just say, hey, man, I don't know, than come up with some BS answer.
Yeah.
But the cards is what we know in the U.S. It's just what we're familiar with. It's what we know. People are afraid to change.
Sometimes they are, yes.
Especially when it comes to spending your money, if it's something you're unfamiliar with.
That's a good point.
Baseball cards have been around forever. Cardboard, and we've always had stickers here. We've had Panini sticker books and things like that, but they've never really had value. So it's kind of a first impression type thing. My first impression of a sticker book is just something that really didn't hold any value, especially when it comes to cards. In Europe, they don't have cards. They have stickers only. So that's what they know. That's what they know. So over there, if they were to introduce cards to them, that might be odd, and they might be like, cards don't have value. Stickers have always had value to me. So that's where you get a little bit of a difference, I would guess.
Yeah, that's true because you make a good point. Americans, when they spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, they'd rather spend it on cards like something so familiar to them, like the rated rookie. I'm sure I think that was around in the 90s for certain sports and stuff like that. I don't know if rated rookie was.
Rated rookies? Yeah, well, rated rookie was always Don Russ. Don Russ was a baseball product. Started back in maybe 82, 81. I'm not sure how far back Don Russ goes, but they introduced the rated rookies where it actually said rated rookie on the card.
Right.
Don
Right.
Russ is owned by Panini now, so that you'll see the Don Russ and Optic cards with the rated rookie on it.
Hmm.
They used to be owned by Leaf.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the day, they were owned by Leaf.
Huh. Because I really haven't seen Leaf like anywhere like
Yeah,
nowadays.
it used to be Don Russ Leaf, and actually Panini may have bought both companies out and just did away with Leaf. I'm not really
Oh,
sure. Just like
yeah.
Topps, you had Topps Opeachy.
Oh, yeah.
Topps Opeachy was kind of like the release that they would do in Quebec, kind of like portion
Hmm.
of Canada because it was a French card.
Interesting. Oh, hold up. We got a Les Alex in the house. Oh,
Oh,
God.
superstar status.
Oh my God. Oh, snap. Oh, what's going on, Les
Oh yeah,
Alex?
Alex, what's up, Alex? I'm repping too. Let me see if I can get it up on the camera.
Oh, he's got a full
I got it
compliment. You
on.
see that? You see that?
What's up?
Oh my goodness. What's up,
Look
Les
at that.
Alex?
Nice and
Hopefully,
comfy.
hopefully he didn't see that whole blackout we had earlier in the show.
Yeah, right. But I got my FCM shirt on.
That's awesome, bro. Man. Okay. Mark, what's up, Mark? He said soccer gang, what's good, bro? Unless Alex likes that. He says nice right
Yeah.
there. Man. And then over here, the car collector. He said we have two sticker books from Russia World Cup and all that. Oh, here we go. Hold up. Dig the shirt, Steve.
I
So,
know, man. Hey, where can I get one of these?
man. Come on, Les Alex. Man, like Les Alex, man, thank you for having me on the show. And I'm sure Steve was on your show too. So, but that's great.
Yeah. Hey, first live stream, man. Everybody who's here with us is experiencing the first Brandon Chung live stream, baby.
Ooh, it was a little bit chaotic at first, but I kind of figured it out. So now I
Hey,
know
man.
all the stuff Les Alex goes through. Yeah, man. So if we got any more questions, hit it up in the comment section. We still love to talk about the soccer cards. So anything other soccer card topic you want to just get off your chest right now? No.
Well, let's three guys that I've been buying. Harry Kane,
Yeah.
Raheem Sterling, and well, I was buying Kevin De Bruyne until I looked and saw his card shot up today. I mean, it's a good thing because I have some, but it's a bad thing because it looks like I'm going to have to pull back a little bit on them.
I know, man, and it's like it's not just like what do you call it? Sports car prices just go up. Like it's usually
Yeah,
sort of gradual. This soccer, for some reason, just popped, man.
it,
And
it goes crazy. I'm telling you, 2 days ago, Kevin De Bruyne Prisms, you could
yeah,
buy them the 2016 $5. It's 50 today.
but this one is the most ridiculous pop I've ever seen since I've joined soccer card. Like I seen it with KDB, like you said, but with everybody, Neymar,
Oh
the
yeah, everybody.
Messi prisms, like $60.
And like I said, with the market, like I said, with it starts with Messi and Ronaldo, and then it's trickling over, and it hit Neymar first.
Right,
It's my
right,
belief that it's going to keep trickling down into these other star players that like I just named,
right.
and I just want to be in on it before it happens.
Exactly. Okay, Steve, you gotta look at this. Les Alex wants to ask questions. He said, "What's the most undervalued soccer card?"
The
If
most
you
undervalued,
or if you have like a brand or something, maybe,
a brand
or maybe
or a player.
I don't know. Les Alex, I don't know. Is it a brand or player? If not, whatever you think, Steve. Whatever you think on
Yeah, and look, E-Man says Anthony Marshall, which I was talking about.
that.
We've both been buying his prisms up. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
said,
one.
it has gone up. But you could buy that. Man, I went on ComC, eBay, and Beckett and bought every one of his 2016 prisms that I could find under,
Wow.
for $2 and under,
Right.
and they're selling for $10 now, which isn't a lot of money. But if you look at it being $2 and you buy a ton of them, now they're $10, and I believe it's going to grow. I mean, $10 I think is a starting point now, and it can get up there with some of those others. Player, he plays for Manchester United.
Yes. Yes. Yes,
And what
sir.
French national team? So
Yes,
he'll
sir.
be at Manchester United, which is super popular, and
That's
he'll be
correct.
on the French team with Mbappe uh,
And everybody.
and Paul Pogba,
But yes.
and yeah, he'll get popular just by playing alongside those guys too.
Yeah, much respect, and I agree with you. Martial is one of those good guys.
That's a
Yeah.
player that I want to talk about. Well, a card I want to talk about from the 2014 Prism set. We've
Okay,
seen Ronaldo, we've seen Messi, we've seen Neymar. I think that Paul Pogba will probably be the next card to go up out of that set.
yeah. At first, I was thinking Eden Hazard, but Paul Pogba is a very good shout too.
Yeah,
And usually, I've seen how that World Cup Prism set trickles. It's Hazard, Pogba, and then it's Modric, and then I've even seen all those legends go out
yeah.
there. It's literally everybody at this point.
Well, like you were talking about, like
On this one.
swag, Pogba just got a little bit of personality to him.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing.
Even on the card, even on the card, he looks like he's doing some karate on that card. He's like got a karate pose struck. You're
Yeah,
like, this guy.
and at the time he wore the gloves, which is like really interesting. So there's a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff. No, let's honest. I have not seen the new Juventus kits. Have you
Is
seen
it a
that?
new kit or is it the Ronaldo's first Juventus kit card, the optic? That could be what he's talking about. I know he was buying those.
The Juventus optic card?
Yeah, Ronaldo's first Juventus kit card was an optic from 18, I think.
Right.
It
I,
hadn't started to spike as of maybe a week or two ago, but it could have now because everything in soccer has gone up.
and I don't know why. If it's because of so many more American investors, or I don't know if it's worldwide, or I don't know if it's a mixture of international and domestic demand for soccer card. I don't know what it is. What do you think? Maybe it could be a bunch of American people.
Man, I think it's everybody wants a piece of the card market right now.
I
I
think
don't.
so.
I think that because in some sports,
I think so.
if one sport goes up, it's going to drag. It's going to drag. In soccer, was down here and it's going
Right.
up. It's not catching basketball, but because basketball keeps going up,
I
everything
got
and
you.
everything in
I
between just
got
keeps
you there.
going up.
I got you there because yeah, what Steve's trying to say, yeah, soccer is like trying to match that, so it's going to go up like this. I
Yeah.
got you there. Unless Alex
Like,
has a question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh no, no, no. I was just saying, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. He says, unless Alex says Brandon or Steve. I know, and we were talking about Dybala. We were. So, do you think he's a buy? If so, which one?
Paulo Dybala. Uh,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna. Okay, so if Messi does not play for the Argentina World Cup team, like he says he's not going to,
Right.
it'll be Dybala front and center for those guys.
Yes.
I don't know how successful they'll be. Um, he's also second fiddle in Juventus because you got Ronaldo over there.
Second fiddle.
So
Yeah.
he's either going to be in Ronaldo's shadow or he's going to be in Messi's shadow. I mean, those are
That,
two good. Those are two great shadows to be in.
I know.
But if Messi doesn't play, he'll be head and shoulders, or he'll be the leader of that Argentina team. And if they do anything with him there, the 2018 World Cup is a good card. And I tell you, I bought one at auction, a silver, 2018 silver. I bought one at auction about a month ago for $5. I tried to buy
Right.
another one about a week ago, and it went at auction for like 60. Um,
Right.
that was a 12-time multiplier. I didn't buy the second one because I was just like, I'll buy Dybala for $5, but I'm not going to buy Dybala for $60. If you
Yeah.
want my opinion, that you know what I mean. The price point it's going to be for me. A player like Dybala is going to be your price point.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That explains it. All star level. So you've got to think about all the cards within the 2018 Prism set like that. And then card collector, he says, is James James Rodriguez a buy? Oh, sorry.
Um, I'm going to have to let you take this one because I'm not very
Okay,
familiar with him.
okay, James Rodriguez. I've seen him play for Bayern Munich. He's played at a decent level, right? His 2014 World Cup sticker is interesting just because he scored 6 goals in the 2014 World Cup. Maybe that can be a moment card, similarly to Mario Gauthier. But his career overall hasn't been that incredible, but it's been pretty good. So I'm not sure. It depends how you can think he can play for Bayern Munich in the future. That's what I will say. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, that's his dad's favorite player. That's why he's asking. And then Les Alex says Costa is there on Juve too. Sorry, I'm new at this. I'm new at this. And then Les Alex says for Dybala. I don't know what he means by for Dybala.
I mean, I would say the card for Dybala. I mean, he's been around a while, but it seems like the hot card is the 2018 World Cup Prism. Um,
Agreed.
Anything in a silver right now is just seeing. Okay,
Really?
if you think that silver and color and stuff like that gets value in basketball, check the recent soccer sales. If
Mm,
if something is a blue, a prism blue, or a prism red, or a prism silver, or a serial number, it's okay. The funny thing about basketball is a base card can sell for more than a serial number of the exact same card. And I had this problem with Jason Tatum's. I had a bunch of Jason Tatum PSA 10 optics, and I had a fast break hollow purple numbered out of 165 optic, and they were both PSA 10s. I
right.
couldn't get much more money for the one serial numbered out of 165 that I could get for the base. But in
Right.
soccer, it's not like that. If something has got color to it or is a parallel or got I've noticed that those sell for big time premiums. Zoltan, who we were talking about, Zoltan,
Right.
I've
Right.
been looking at his prisms, and I'm buying some of his prism base for around $20.
Mm,
But
that's
he
interesting.
just had a prism blue go off that I really liked. It was pushed up over $150.
Oh my goodness!
It
Wow.
raw, ungraded, and I'm
Oh,
like, these silvers
yeah.
are seeing high dollar prices now.
Yeah, that's very interesting. People just love that signing, that parallel.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe it, right? I don't know. We, yeah, we got some more comments like you were talking about Marxist silvers going way up, and you know, Les Alexis, he's hyped for St. Louis City SC. They just announced a name and a logo for MLS. So the MLS is interesting to me, right? They keep expanding teams, and I think that's excellent progress. I don't know if you follow MLS, my guy. I don't know. What do you? If you have any?
Um, there was there was one player I was buying out of Major League Soccer, uh, really cheap, and E-Man actually pointed him out to me.
Really?
Um,
Thank you, man.
oh, did he play for the LA Galaxy?
And the Galaxy is.
Yeah,
Uh,
Diego.
Diego.
Diego. What's his name? His name is I'm losing his name because I bought him and put him away a
Oh,
little while ago. Diego something. He had like 20 goals. I think he's
really? Hold on. Diego? I don't know who you're talking about.
I could,
Di-
man, if I just step away, I could grab his cards. I know exactly where they're sitting.
Diego
Diego
Polenta?
Rossi. There he
Oh,
goes.
Diego
Diego
Rossi.
Rossi.
Oh, sorry. Diego Rossi. Thank you, E-Man. Diego Rossi. I don't even know who that is. I gotta search him up. Huh.
He's just
Thank
one
you.
of those guys I think that you can get for a value and take a flyer on because I guess his cards have started going up, but we talked about this on the Facebook group, and this is some of the good things we pass along to each other was that his base singles were selling for like $2 and $3, and then they
Wow.
started going up on eBay to about 15 or $16,
Oh my goodness.
but the team set still sat at $3.
Oh my
So
goodness.
you could just still go in and scoop up the team sets and still get the Diego Rossi card out of it for the same price as if you were to buy it by itself. And we were
That's
pointing that out to each other. He was pointing it out to a lot of us on the Facebook page if we wanted to get on it.
wow.
That was a secret way to
Yeah.
swoop in under the radar and still get that
Wow.
card.
First of all, I need to get in that Facebook group. See what you
You're
guys
in there. I'm
talking.
pretty sure I've seen you in there.
Oh really? Oh, okay. I need to just get more active in
You need to
there.
get some action, man. You need to get in the game.
I need to get into game.
You need some minutes.
And that's an excellent point you make because the single card $15, but the set $3. So you have to really look everywhere, and
Yeah.
everything's really an option, especially
Yes,
in this
people don't
market.
pay attention to that stuff. They see the one player, they get fixated on it, and they're like, I want the card. I want that card. Oh, well, how much it's selling for? And then they don't even see, oh, well, there's an LA Galaxy team set here for $3. And there's a
Yeah,
Diego Rossi LA Galaxy card for $15. They buy the single. They can buy the set for $3.
I mean, exactly. I mean, that's the arbitrage right there, and that's an excellent job, observation you had. Yeah, man. Verify or Vexify on iPad says Neymar and Maple. I don't know what Maple means, but I mean,
Syrup.
yeah, syrup, maple syrup on pancake. That's all I know. But if he's talking about Neymar, I don't know what. Maybe your opinions on Neymar or anything special about his card price or anything?
Oh well, the Neymar 2014 Prism's gone crazy. Of
Yes.
course, it was going to, it was just going to follow suit once you couldn't buy Ronaldo and Messi anymore. I
Right.
saw PSA nines of that 2014 selling for 600 last night in a
Wow.
nine. Yeah, it blew my mind because when I originally saw the prices, I was looking at sold listings on 1030 point or whatever it is, and
Right. Right. Right.
I originally thought it was tens. I saw $600 sales, and I'm like, man, tens are going off at $600.
Huh.
And then after I glanced back at it again, I'm like, these are nines. Nine, PSA nine,
Wow.
PSA nine, PSA nine. I'm like, wow, the nine is. It blew my mind that the nine was getting $600. So I don't know what a 10 is going for. I think these 2014 Prisms, they're not only the first Prism card of some
Right.
iconic players, but they're also tough grades.
See, it's
They
tough
have some
grade.
bad edges on the back,
Yeah.
and let's be honest, I don't think people really thought they would have any value when they came out. They probably got chunked all over the place.
That's a good point. People just throwing them. I see on TikTok people buying the cards through like garage sale of the Prism card
Yeah,
20.
like
Stuff like
those
that.
2014 Prism Soccer. Who would have thought that would be talking about soccer cards in the U.S. today? Nobody would
Exactly.
even have thought the market at all for any cards at all, but let alone soccer.
Yeah, for sure. Unless Alex says Mbappe optic popped off. I didn't even know that.
So let's see. Which one is the? I don't have it Mbappe. I bought two Mbappes,
Oh, really? Oh, you have
and
it
I
with
told a
you?
story about one that came
Okay.
in the mail beat up. It came all the way from Romania.
Oh,
I waited
wow.
over a month to get it, and when I got it, it was damaged. They shipped it. It was a
Yeah.
Topps Chrome. It was a Topps Chrome Raw, and I paid $120 for it.
Oh, wow. Must
And
be
they shipped it in a white envelope overseas. It took over a month to get here.
I'm
And I was
sorry.
just kidding myself. I mean, I
Oh,
got a little envelope in the mail. I thought I got a birthday card or something. It was my Mbappe.
oh
The
my
And the
goodness.
only reason I knew it was the Mbappe is because I had it from Romania written on it.
Oh my goodness. Dang
I'm
it.
like, really shipping for a month overseas, and I get it in a white envelope, and it had like dimples in the back of the card from where something must have been sitting on top of it or something.
Right. And that's the worry about international shipping.
And I
Because,
contacted the buyer, and they were just like, I did everything in
oh
my part to make sure it got there. I put it in a top loader. I said, but you didn't even bubble wrap it. You didn't put it in a
wow.
bubble
Yeah.
mailer. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. I still have the card. I'm sure I could probably still
Just,
get $50 for it, but
just,
um,
yeah.
I don't look back. If I let stuff like that get me bitter, then um, it'll ruin the hobby for me. I can't let that do it. I can't let that happen.
Yeah. And that's an
Now,
excellent.
but then again, I can't. I'm only speaking for myself because $120. Okay, I'm out $120, but to some people, $120, man,
That's a lot.
that's a lot of money. That's a lot of
So much.
money. I mean, I'm not wealthy by any means, but I mean, I understand
Right.
some people, especially if you were younger and you were saving up your
Yeah.
allowance and you
These
went to buy a
college
nice
kids.
card and you know,
That's my worry, right? These college kids buying these $100 cards. Unless Alex says that's how his cards were shipped too, but luckily they weren't damaged, and his were
I don't know if you
from
can
a.
see this. This was the other Mbappe that I bought. My lights are kind of
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's better. Oh, you got the World Cup Prism. That is
yeah.
very nice.
I picked this
Oh,
up back for
wow.
$209.
Gee,
And I'm not a big fan of BGS, but it was
but still,
$209. I actually contemplating buying it. The seller had multiples.
right.
This is like 750 now.
Wow, that is
In a
incredible,
BGS, the PSA 10s are over 1,000, but in a BGS, it's like 750 now.
right? And
Um,
if you're a believer in BGS, then that would be a good thing.
yeah, I mean BGS, they're going to have value. Um,
Right.
PSA it seems to be pulling ahead of everybody.
It is for sure.
I mean, they
But
were above, but they feel like they're even pulling ahead even more.
I know I don't know why. It just maybe the price increase from the PSA submissions. I don't know.
It seems like since they opened their doors back up after COVID, everybody was just like PSA. It was like they were fiending for it.
Yeah, I don't know why. They just love it. But Shake and Bake Sports Car, he says anyone grabbing Sandro Tonali due to sign with a big club in Italy. I don't know if you know about Tonali.
I do not, but if he's somebody
Um,
that's there, I'm open
yeah,
ears.
yeah, because it's good because I think he is a defensive midfielder. Please correct me if I'm wrong, comment section, but I think he's due to sign maybe for like one of those Milan clubs or Juventus. I don't know much about him, but I've seen him a little bit, and I like what I've seen from him. Iman says he picked up Tonali too, so maybe Steve, maybe
Hey, maybe it's somebody I'll look into.
yeah. You guys see the scam on eBay where people say they got the wrong card? Uh oh, that's a problem with eBay sometimes, in my opinion, because
So
things like that.
I heard this story on a soccer break website that I'm on about a guy who said that he made an eBay sale,
Right.
sent the card, and then the buyer claimed that he didn't send the correct card. It was supposed to be a PSA
Oh,
10 card. I don't know the exact card, but it was a graded card. And then the buyer claimed that he got some beat up raw cards.
wow.
Filed a complaint with eBay, and eBay, they always tend to favor the buyer. And
Yeah.
so the seller ended up being out his money and his card. Um,
Gee,
Now that's the only story that I've heard, and I think that same story has been passed around to where it
maybe.
seems like it's an epidemic. You know what I mean? I think that one story has been passed on to one Facebook group, to another Facebook group, to our live or your live stream.
Right.
Now, you know what I mean? So now it's going to
Exactly.
sound like it's happening all the time when I think it might have just originated from one story. I could be wrong. I
Mm.
could be wrong. But
Oh,
but it seemed it was a story that was told. I did actually read it from the original guy who posted it, but I feel like the rumor mill has spread it around to make it seem like it's something that's way worse than it may be.
yeah, that's a good point because that's like media. One thing happens, people just continuously talk
Yeah,
about it. In sports cards, that happens too, so we got to be careful about
because
that.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, at some point, if that was happening continuously, eBay would catch on to it,
Yeah,
especially if it was happening from the same account. Say this one person did this scam and you roll in their favor, and then a week later they say the same thing happens again for like a $200 card, or it happens a third time. At what point do you say, "Wait a minute, this guy is scamming us. We're going to refund these people that just got ripped off"? I mean, eBay has to protect the sellers as well. They make their money off the seller.
right.
Well, let's be honest, they don't make their money off the buyers. I'm the one when
That's a
I
good
sell
point.
stuff. I'm the one paying eBay fees.
Exactly. That 10%. Oof.
Oh
Well, plus
yeah,
PayPal, but just eBay 10%. That's great.
yeah.
Oh, Les Alex says for soccer is PSA or is like a BGS. Um, like if there's any specific
It's
grader.
still it's still PSA for soccer.
Oh, too.
Now here's the thing about graded soccer.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of it.
There's not a lot. That's right.
There's not a lot of
Exactly.
it because soccer just recently got hot within the past 6 months or so, and the grading companies haven't had many submissions come in or out.
That's how long they take to grade a card
Yeah,
for
so
PSA
when you
anyway.
see graded soccer, it's drawing big premiums. That's why you're seeing Messi's and Ronaldo's and PSA 10s hit the $4,000 mark. There's just not a lot of competition with the sellers. If the market becomes flooded, you could see those cards come down a little bit. But
Right.
but then again, it's a tough grade. So I don't think
Very
that's going to happen. But even on eights and nines, like I said, Neymar nines are 600. Raw
yeah.
cards are 100. So if a nine is 600, what's an eight? An eight is a
That's
$300
true.
card. So now an eight is drawing a premium over a raw, which you don't see.
Most
But
definitely.
but you're seeing it in soccer. But you're not seeing it in other sports.
Yeah.
Um, you're starting to see nines pull away from raws in other sports. In basketball,
Right.
PSA nines used to be neck and neck with a raw card because everybody has this misconception that they're going to buy a card raw and they're going to get a PSA 10 when they send it in. Uh,
Right.
so people will pay more for a raw card than a nine just because they're going to gamble on getting a 10 out of it.
Of course, but
And
a
that's
lot of
just not
times
the realistic. That's just not
that's
being
not.
realistic.
That's
I mean,
not.
I wish that was the case, but
Yeah.
now people are getting, smart to that, and you're seeing nines starting to elevate above raw cards, even more so
Most
in
definitely.
basketball and stuff in the bigger selling markets.
I, yeah, I completely agree with all of that. Like, I'm not even gonna say anything else, right? Because
Yeah.
the PSA eights have value for those cards. Vexify on iPad. He says, what cards right now that could double or go up in some weeks, or quick flips maybe new to this week? I don't know what I could tell him if you have anything. 'Cause,
Well, let me brainstorm the couple sports.
right,
It. I'm not going to recommend anybody in baseball because I don't know who's going to hit a home run tomorrow.
exactly.
It seems like if somebody hits a home run tomorrow, their cards are going to double, or if they hit 2 or 3 home runs. But that was when, baseball, people were so hungry for baseball to start back up that when it started back up, you knew the first person to hit a couple home runs was going to be through the roof just because people were foaming at the mouth to see it.
Yeah.
And in basketball, with the playoffs, and you got guys come out hot. Michael Porter Jr. came out tearing it up.
Most
and
definitely.
Basketball, it's hard to call. Whoever makes the playoffs, whoever makes that 8th seed in the West, I can see their superstar player, whether it be Damian Lillard or Devin Booker.
Right.
It's a little late. I mean, these guys are already expensive.
They've already
So
went up a lot.
yeah, they're not cheap buy-ins by no means. However, they're the types of guys. And I missed an opportunity last week. I was watching 3 Prism PSA 10 Damian Lillards on my watch list for $900. I couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
I couldn't pull the trigger because I said to myself, if he gets eliminated from the playoffs, or if he doesn't make the playoffs, I can buy this card for $600 2 months from now.
Potentially, yeah.
And he went out and put up 51 and 61, and now that card's $2,500. It's like, at what point do you, it's a big gamble, but I would never recommend high dollar cards like that to anybody. I like to recommend the low stuff because I don't want to see anybody gamble like that. I'll put some big money out for cards, but I never recommend it. So answer that.
It's hard, I know.
Let's see. Well, if you're looking for soccer, because he's so low and he's already a legend, we were talking about him earlier, Robert Lewandowski.
Lewandowski, yeah.
Only because they could win the Champions League.
Right.
And they could win the Champions League, and his cards are so cheap that it's not going to take much for him to double. If you can buy a 2016 Prism of his for $10, it could easily be $25 if they win the Champions League and he scores a goal, So that's not and it's low risk.
That's a major thing. It's low risk.
He really can't get any lower. I mean, this guy is going to retire as a great. He really can't get any lower. So if you're looking for a soccer card, I like Lewandowski. And basketball, man, it's hard because basketball, everybody's so expensive. I mean,
I know.
To recommend somebody in basketball, I can tell you a player that I'm big on in basketball, short and long term for me. Now, don't
right for him. Right?
Don't go to eBay and say Flippin' Steve's buying this guy and start spending all your money on him. But I'm not the only person that likes him. I like Tyler Hero.
Okay.
And he put up 30 last night. Kendrick Nunn left the bubble for personal reasons. So Tyler Hero got some minutes. I knew once he got some minutes, he was going to be a good player. I watched him in Kentucky. He's marketable. He got a shot.
Right.
And all of the skills are there. He just needs to develop. I think he needs to put on a little bit of muscle, but he's very marketable. He's got a look. And his first game in for Nunn, he put up like 25. The second game, he got some minutes. He put up 17. He come out last night and got some minutes, and he put up 30. And I'm just like, when this guy gets playing time, he's effective. Now you have some guards on that team like Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson and stuff who are guys that are playing well. But I like Tyler Hero. If the Heat go on a run or he hits a game winner, you're talking about a double up just because of the craze of the market. If it doesn't happen, I still like him.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen this year, I still like him next year because when he gets that playing time, I think he's going to be good. Raw graded Prisms, optics, selects. I would start buying in like selects. Prisms are getting up there. Optics too, but optics quality control and Prism has gone to crap. The optic is so hard to find a centered optic card.
I
Um,
agree. Yeah, yeah,
I like Select because it's a hobby only, and
yeah.
the quality control from Panini on that product is good. It's hard. You get good centered cards. They're a lot more forgiving when it comes to grading a Select. Yeah, I
I
like
need
this
to get
guy.
Yeah, Phil Foden. Yeah, yeah,
Phil Foden, I'm big on Phil
yeah.
Foden.
I think he has excellent tactical awareness. I don't know what you think.
Well, I just read comments from his coach.
Okay. Oh, Pep
When it when
Guardiola.
it when it comes to like looking at a player on the pitch and stuff and things like that, I haven't really gotten the keen eye for that yet.
Right, right. Well, that's
But
most difficult.
yeah, because I've just been started trying to watch soccer, and a lot of times be trying to watch it at work. I'd be watching it with no sound,
Yeah,
and that's why I don't even know how to pronounce half the names. And people want to rip me in the comments for not rolling the R in Ronaldo and stuff.
you're good, Steve. You're
But
good. Come on, it's okay. It's
but
okay. Anyway,
but yeah, but I read some comments from his coach talking about him, and I was like, if the coach thinks this way about him, and I bought a bunch of his optics because I was looking at Sancho, and I'm like, okay, Sancho's optics raw are 40, 50.
right.
João Felix is 40 or 50. Kai Havertz
Good
40 or
point.
50. Phil Foden's $10. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to buy the guy that's $10,
Yeah.
whose coach thinks
Yeah.
he has upside.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
they're like 30, they're a little over $30 now. And but I mean, I bought them all off the same seller. Just I was like, the guy had like, I wish I'd have bought them all. As soon as I bought them, he must not have knew he had them priced the way he had them because as soon as I bought them, he like put the price up to $20. After I bought,
yeah.
he had
Oh,
like six.
really?
He had like six, when you buy quantity or whatever. And I bought three of them. And
Well,
then I went back like the next day, and he had raised his price from $10.99 a card to like $20 a
wait a
card. But
minute. Is this from eBay or where did you
yeah,
buy
it's
that
from
from?
eBay. Yeah,
Okay.
from eBay.
Okay. Gotcha. I want
Yeah.
to pull up this comment because I thought this was interesting. Card collector says Yao Ming good long term. China has lots of money. I thought it was interesting, and I think China has a lot of appeal, especially for basketball, because they're usually one of the first, countries or second largest economy in the world, but one of the first countries to follow suit for American culture. I don't know what you think.
I think Yao Ming cards. I honestly don't know what they're buying or selling for. I looked them up.
Me
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
last time I looked at Yao Ming prices because I thought the same thing. I thought he was a good buy because of the demographic. Um,
Right.
just like Hakeem Olajuwon. Okay,
Right.
now Hakeem Olajuwon is a top 10 player in basketball history, so he doesn't need a demographic. But if the demographic was to play more, from Africa would help it.
Most definitely.
Would even boost it even more. But yeah, because I can see the same thing with Roy Hachimura, being
Mm.
from Japan, and I think he's the first Japanese-born NBA player.
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta look into that. Yeah.
And and he played well down the stretch here when Bradley Beal was out, and he got some more plays drawn up for him and stuff. He put up some points, and so he showed that he can play, and I think that he has another market appeal. Always that something extra on the side always helps.
Yeah. I mean, that's very true, and I agree with you. I agree with you.
I do feel that about Yao Ming. It's just that Yao Ming has been out of the league a while now. That it's
Yeah.
hard to judge a market on a Hall of Famer or on a retired player.
Most
I mean, look
definitely.
at the Last Dance. Who thought Dennis Rodman would have a resurgence? Who thought
Right.
Scottie Pippen would have a resurgence? However, the Last Dance is over, and those cards have come back to earth.
Right.
Even Jordan rookies. I mean, it's still a super expensive card, but it's not selling for what it was selling for during the Last Dance. They went from like the last sale PSA 10 went from like close to 100,000 back to like 77 or something. I mean,
That's yeah. That's
it's still
it's
selling for a lot of
all
money, but you're talking about a big difference.
yeah. That's most definitely. It's up and down. Yeah. Iman says Gabriel Jesus because Manchester City just is in the Champions League currently. I don't know if you know about him, Steve.
I've heard the name actually, and I may have read it on the Facebook group. I'm not sure.
Right.
Um, like I said, guys, I'm still very green to soccer. I do
Okay.
soccer
My bad. My
videos.
bad.
I do soccer videos because I try, and
Yeah.
I only talk about what I know. And One day I'll be maybe up there with Brandon, but Brandon's going to keep educating himself and pulling ahead of me, so I'll never catch him.
We're all in this together. We're all learning.
Yeah, I know.
It's not about who up, who's down. No, it's about everybody.
Yeah, but I hear you talk about a guys like you were started talking about Phil Foden, and then I've heard you talk about players and their reactions and their speed and their instincts and things like that. That's something that I don't know yet, and that's when I listen to you talk about soccer. That's what's really impressive to me.
I appreciate it, man. It's just I played soccer for a long time, so it just take a time. I think, Steve, you'll know this one though. He says, what Lewandowski card? There's one going for 62 and 26 bits. It's in 40 minutes, so he kind of like needs your help.
It's the 2016 Panini Prism Euro?
Sorry, yes.
It must be a silver, or it must be a blue or something. I don't think if that's the base, I'm going to start dancing right here on camera.
Yeah.
Because I bought a bunch of those base for like $3.
Ooh, oh my goodness.
Check here.
Yeah, check, please. Because actually, please check and Vexify. I think you must be talking about a silver.
It has to be a color of some sort.
Or color, right. And then, oh wait, hold on. E-Man says they are working on a legit movie, not a doc, about Kurt Warner.
Yeah, that's a silver right now, sitting at $63 with 46 minutes left. 26 bids. That thing's going to probably hit $100. But that's a silver. It looks like the listings on the base now are up to over $30. There's one for 25. If you feel like waiting, that I'm going to give that a small tip to people buying soccer cards. If you can be patient, if you're not looking for quick flips. So if you're buying veterans,
that's it. Yes. I'm sorry. Go
ahead. Don't be afraid to buy overseas and wait. People are paying premiums to buy in the U.S. because they want their cards tomorrow. You know what I mean? They want them 3 days from now, and they're paying extra money to get them. And I don't mean paying extra shipping. I mean they're just paying a premium because everybody's bidding on the cards being sold here in the U.S. And shipping overseas is not that expensive. People think it's going to cost them $20 to get a card shipped. That's not the case for us. It may be the case for someone in Europe getting a card from us, but for us, shipping can still be like $5 from international.
Yes.
And if you can wait 3 weeks for a card, I mean, you can save some money. Believe me, because that's something that I've done. Just be patient. By the time you get your card in the mail, it's almost tripled in value for you before it's even got your hands on it.
Exactly. And that's what I will say too, right? I've said this on my podcast, I'll say it. I like Alphonso Davies, right? So a lot of things I order from him is international. That is huge gamble, but I am willing to wait just because I believe in that player specifically. And when I do international, it's actually free shipping just for that particular one. So what Steve says, especially for like Messi and Ronaldo, these blue chip players, yeah, you can wait. And they'd be cheaper and probably come in better condition.
Yeah, because a lot of cards, when you look at listings, you'll find way more overseas listings than you will, especially on these 2014 Prisms.
Yes.
These older Prism cards, you're going to see them from Russia, you're going to Lithuania, China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, everywhere. I bought a card from Romania, UK. I mean, they're coming from all over the place.
Yeah. He's so right about this.
And there's people see that it's coming from there and they don't want to buy it. It scares them off of it. That's fine because I'll buy it, but I just want to give that advice to you guys. Don't let that scare you off of it.
Most definitely. And I would say if you're buying from like an eBay or something like that, like Steve said, they're going to be for the buyer. eBay is going to be for the buyer. So just have that in mind. So I know it scares you because I bought the cards in every currency, right? Euros, Indonesian money, Denmark money, about everything. So, but it is a good way to go for soccer cards. I'll pull up some more. I want you to check this one out, Steve. He says, JD, he says, I think Harrow and Duncan can be the next Curry and Clay.
I mean, I get what he's saying. Like they can be the next really strong backcourt, shooting some threes and stuff to the level of somebody like Steph Curry. I mean, man, that's a big shoes to fill for somebody who's in their first year. And Duncan Robinson, I'm not even sure where he was drafted at. He may be a guy. He may be a journeyman. But no, I get what he's saying in comparison, as in these guys can be the kind of backcourt that can run the team and put up a lot of points and shoot 3-pointers, the same play style and things.
Right.
To say they're going to play at the level of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, I'm not willing to say that yet. Hey, I mean, anything can happen. I like Tyler Hero. Don't get me wrong. I'm buying Tyler Hero for now and for later. But I'm not buying him with the mindset that he's the next Steph Curry.
Exactly.
I do draw my line somewhere when it comes to putting out money into a player's potential.
Right. Exactly, man. So, okay, so I got to ask you, Steve. I don't know if we've been on like over an hour. I don't know if you're cool to stay or whatever you want to do.
I'm cool as long as people are interested and have questions. And it's up to you. I'm
cool. I mean, as long as people got some more questions. We just got some more questions. Well, already the Cavs have a good future. That's what the card collector says. I don't know much about them, but
the Cavs, they have one small problem. They have too many guards.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to call that a problem, I mean, they have a lot of good scoring in their backcourt, but they don't have much up front. Kevin Love might be out after this year. So it's going to be Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, and who am I forgetting, guys? Help me out.
Maybe Kevin Porter?
Kevin Porter Jr. Yep. Kevin Porter Jr. If I had to choose my favorite between the three, I'm going with Colin Sexton.
Right.
As an exciting point scorer. Now, he's a ball dominant guard.
Definitely.
He's a ball dominant guard. Can he become somebody like a Devin Booker or something? He could. I mean, that team just needs help. The organization is struggling. It's more than a player's talent than it is. It's more than just the player's talent. The team has to be successful as well.
You're very true. Steve, the hobby box is here.
He's here.
Look, KPJ. Oh my God. Thank you for coming on, hobby box. And Les Alex. Man, this is crazy. But he's asking about, Kevin Porter.
He likes Kevin Porter Jr. Yeah, if I had to choose two from the Cavs guards, it would be KPJ and Colin Sexton. I'm not really big on Garland.
Right. And then Vexify is asking about another Lewandowski. He's just looking at eBay bids right now.
Yeah, the silver Prism he was just talking about the one that's about to go off is a 2016 Euro Prism silver. It's up over $60. This is a 2018. I don't know what this one will go for. I own that card. 2018 World Cup silver. Yeah, I have that one. I have his first year optic hollow. I like Lewandowski as a fan. I was buying Lewandowski because I like him, not really because I was going to try to sell him.
Right, exactly. Because, like you said, Lewandowski is a low downside. And then Shake and Bake asked about ruining Japanese Olympics because the Olympics are moved to 2021.
Yeah. If he plays for Japan in the Olympics and say they play the U.S. and he can put up a decent showing.
Right.
But I remember when the Dream Team played, was it Croatia? And everybody was on Tony Kukoc and they just completely shut him down and disrespected him. And it took him a long time to come back to the Bulls and recover. If Hachimura or if Roy can go out there and actually, lead the team from Japan into doing something, but if they go out there and they're just completely annihilated, then it could actually hurt him a little bit.
Right. I mean, and that could be an opportunity if you sell at the right time.
I mean, there's going to be attention there. Don't get me wrong. It's just going to be positive or negative attention.
There we go. Exactly. And then the card collector asked about Karis LeVert, if you know a lot about him or not.
He's scoring points on a bad team.
Basically.
When all the superstars are out, the ball has to fall into somebody's hands. So when you guys got like Kyrie and Durant aren't there, then Karis LeVert is going to have to score points. He's going to get a lot of shots. He's going to get a lot of minutes, a lot of shots. So his stat line in the end is going to look decent. However, the team isn't winning. When those guys come back, people are going to look at it and say, okay, he's no longer scoring 25 a night. Is he all of a sudden a bad player? That's not going to be the case. It's just the matter of he's now third option. You know what I mean? Rather than first option.
I get that. And like you just said about Messi and Ronaldo's shadow, now Karis LeVert's going to be under KD's shadow if he plays healthy, you know.
And speaking of Kevin Durant, man, I'm buying Kevin Durant right now.
Oh, really?
People are going to be so excited for his return. I know he's a little polarizing. He's a little polarizing, right? People say that they don't like him and they don't like his attitude.
Right.
But I guarantee you people miss him right now.
That's true. I mean, people want to see any talent, like high level.
Yeah,
basketball.
People want to see him play. And when he comes back next year, I bet you the biggest story in NBA on opening day will be the return of Kevin Durant.
I mean, most definitely. Like,
because Steph Curry returned at the end of this season.
Yeah, that was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, so it's going to be the return of Kevin Durant, and for the first couple games, it's going to be all spotlights on Durant, and if he performs at a high level, his cards, people are going to rediscover who he is.
Yeah, most definitely. And Vexify asked Marcus Rashford thoughts on him. Well, I've got some thoughts, but if you have any thoughts.
I'm invested in him. I like him.
Right.
I can't give you the super details, When you play in Manchester United and you play for the English national team, you got built-in popularity right there. They're going to love you there. So you're always going to have that massive fan base from his club and from his country. And he's good, and he's young.
That's the thing. He's young and fresh, right? Like I said, Manchester United plus England, which adds a market value. But plus he can actually stay behind the line and position himself very well from goals inside the 18. I like Marcus Rashford a lot. There's some base cards of him you can get for $10 or $5 or less. I mean, that's a good risk for people. The hobby box says.
What was he shushing? What was I?
Boris, you talking about KPJ?
KPJ, or was I giving up the goods? Was I giving up the goods on Kevin Durant? What was happening?
I think it was maybe Kevin Durant.
Was I giving up the goods? I guess I spilling the beans on Kevin Durant.
You're giving too much of the goods, man.
I've got in on some Durant. I'm buying 9s. I mean, the 10s are expensive because Gary Vee talked about them. I'm buying the 9s, guys. I'm buying the PSA 9s.
Yeah, he was talking about KD, but yeah, PSA. Yeah, he's right because, I mean, Kevin Durant, even if he's at 80% healthy, we're still talking about maybe 15, 20-point score in a large Brooklyn market.
Yeah, in a large market. They haven't seen him yet, man. They're dying to see him on the court in Brooklyn.
I mean, it is a risk because he could be, very bad Achilles injury. We've seen those.
Yeah, it's tough to come back from, but,
I think the upside is a lot more than downside.
Yeah, well, they didn't rush him back. I think if he would have decided, hey, I'm going to try to be a hero and save our playoff run, that would have been a bad decision.
Yeah.
Not because I don't think it would have been able to perform, but I think it would have been risky.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very solid point. Vexify, he says something for Dele Alli. I say so, but I don't know if you know him, Steve.
I do not know him. I'm learning a lot of soccer names that I didn't know, guys.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I know Rashford.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I keep throwing different names at you.
No, that's good because, look, I don't know. I'm learning too.
Right. But Dele Alli, I'll put him on the back burner in terms of if you wanted to research him. But he's pretty solid for Tottenham. I don't know if you know we talk about Jesus, but I don't know if you know Richarlison. I thought you bought one of his cards.
Yeah, I like me some Richarlison.
Yeah, I thought you bought one of his cards.
Yeah, I bought some Prisms and an Optic Hollow. I bought a Brazilian Optic Hollow team set, actually, from that year. It was super cheap. It was a whole Brazilian team Optic Hollow set. It was the first year Optic. It was only $20. Yeah. I really wanted it for the Richarlison, but it came with Neymar in there. It came with Arthur in there.
Yeah.
Willian, a bunch of guys that I've heard of.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, I get them all for $20. Go ahead and give me that.
I mean, exactly, man. Because Richarlison and Gabriel Jesus at the current moment of time look like the next Brazilian youngsters to rise, right?
Yeah, I've watched him. It seemed like every day I checked Premier League scores every day. Right. I try to watch when I can, but I felt like every time there was an Everton game and I watched the highlights, he was scoring a goal. Now I guess he was a little inconsistent, but it seemed like he had some big plays. And I just started liking him. I was like, nobody's buying his cards. That's even more reason for me to like him.
Right.
And I don't know, Everton, are they going to get relegated? I mean, who is?
I don't believe so. I think West Ham might be one of the teams.
Aston Villa, maybe.
Aston Villa and shoot, man, I can look it up right now, but
because that's another thing I like to talk about in soccer is on these teams that are going to be relegated or delegated, whatever you could say, relegated from the Premier League.
Yes.
Who are some of these guys that can be signed to bigger clubs? If Aston Villa is out, then Jack Grealish is going to sign somewhere.
Oh, Grealish is
somebody is going to pay Jack Grealish.
Yes.
And if he goes to a big club, because I can see his cards. There was two guys on Aston Villa I was buying. One of them was Jack Grealish. He was a little bit more expensive. The other one was dirt cheap. It was a guy named John McGinn. He's Scottish.
Yeah, I heard of him.
And I just was buying his Prism rookies because they were only like $1. And I was like, if a bigger club picks him up, then it could be a good investment.
That's very true. And plus, you have the English nationality for Grealish, I believe.
Yeah.
So higher market value right there. It says right here the 3 teams, Bournemouth, Watford, and Norwich City, are all moving down.
Oh, so Aston Villa is not going down.
Yeah, but I feel like they'll have to sell Grealish anyways.
Yeah.
That way they can sell him and buy 2 or 3 players for.
Now, didn't you say you think that Leeds is going to move up?
Leeds is going to move up.
And that could be a place where rumored that Imanisevic could land there maybe?
Yeah, I think he will go there, because Ibrahimovic has a long history of just switching clubs consistently.
He even played in Major League Soccer.
I know, it's crazy. And then he came back to Serie A, which is like ridiculous. I feel like it's possible, and it's actually rumored as well. E-Man says Declan Rice is going to a better club. Yeah. Right.
So, what's the story on Declan Rice? Is he? I feel like is he a defender? Is he a back?
I'm not way too sure, to be honest with you, because I don't really focus on those lower level English sides, although I should.
I feel like the one thing that steered me away from him when I was looking at investing was that he was a back.
Yeah.
Now I know that Alphonso Davies and the guy on Liverpool, is it Liverpool?
Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, those guys are backs, but they're so fast that they can play up front and they get back on defense.
Well, they're considered to be better on offense than defense.
Like those guys. So, I know those guys are getting values because they're inhumanly fast.
Right. E-Man says he's a good, talented midfielder.
Okay.
I think central defensive midfielder. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, E-Man. Let me know.
Here's the thing, guys, and this got put into my head because I was getting into soccer and I was looking at all these young players and I was like, I'm going to buy these guys. And then I watched a podcast by a guy named Brandon Chung. And what he said was that you have all these young players and maybe 15 to 20% of these guys are actually going to pan out to be superstars. And that hit home to me. I'm not making fun of you here. That hit home with me. That hit home with me. And I'm like, he's absolutely right. This is like when you look at the NBA draft lottery and you buy all 10 or 11 draft lottery picks and 3 of them become all-stars. And now you got a lot of guys, and now you're buying all the guys from the next season. And you just end up with a bunch of draft classes in your box from every season. And it's the same with soccer. And everybody's expensive, and not everybody is going to be a superstar. It just doesn't work that way.
Exactly.
And I got caught up in the hype of all of them. João Felix, Kai Havertz, Phil Foden, all these guys we're talking about, Vinicius Jr. And I just sat back and I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick a couple of these young guys, and I'm going to put most of my investing money into established players. And that's when I started picking out. Okay, I like Harry Kane. I like Kevin De Bruyne. I like Mohamed Salah. I like Sadio Mane. And so I was like, I like these guys. They're cheap. I'm going to put money into those established players, and I'm going to pick a handful of guys that I like. I went with Phil Foden as one of them.
Yeah, most definitely.
I didn't get on Erling Haaland. He was too expensive.
Yeah,
I think he's awesome. He'll probably be one of the better ones, but I missed the boat on the sales, on the prices with him.
I mean, what you say is you're focusing on Lewandowski and Harry Kane. This is a very good thing. The modern players who have established resume. I mean, I like you say, I have a gamble list too. Alfonso Davies and
Mm-hmm.
Pulisic simply because of the American hype.
Yeah.
And plus he's playing well, but like just like five players, five players, and then just see what happens.
The thing about Pulisic is that he is seeing prices of an all-time great.
Oh, just the most ridiculous thing ever.
His prices have him priced as if he's a top 10 player in the world or ever. He's not even a top 10 player in the world. That's not a knock on him. I mean, he could be. I mean, he's great, but it's the American or the U.S. market driving his value. It's not it's not all of his play on the pitch that's driving his value. It is the U.S. market. And, there, like you said, there is always some more important things, popularity, social media, things like that. And that's the biggest thing driving his market now is hype and popularity, the U.S. market. He has performed enough to sustain it. But if he was, say, for instance, a Belgian player, his prices would be 10 to 20% of what they are right now.
Most definitely.
That's just that's the truth of it.
I mean, most definitely. And Iman says Pulisic is way overpriced. I mean, yeah, possibly because he is nominated for a young players, English Premier League Young Players Award, though. I will say that. But he's been injured, right? So you think he's injury? That's a big risk for young player. Maybe his price should come down, but it has. Weird.
If I had the choice, okay, what is his rookie of 15 or 16? 16, right? 15, 16.
I want to say 16 select.
That's select with him in the U.S. uniform, which just went outrageously priced. I mean, it probably reached $300 raw.
Yeah.
That's the price of the Messi and Ronaldo Prism.
I know.
So, if I had $300, what am I going to buy?
Yeah.
Or if I had $300 to spend on a 2016 card, would I spend $300 on a Pulisic, or would I buy 6 2016 Euro Prisms with Kevin De Bruyne?
There we go.
I would buy 6 Kevin De Bruyne Euro Prisms. That's how I tend to look at things. If I had this much money to spend, where's this? The smart option at?
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's one thing if Pulisic went up 2x, like I think it was at $30 to select, but it went up 10x if you're talking about 30 to 300. So that it just makes me.
I just cleaned up my eBay watch list because it was full. I couldn't put anything else on there, and I had a bunch of ended Christian Pulisic selects in that USA uniform, that card that everybody was buying, dating back months ago when I started watching them, and they were like $20. Lots like 2 for $35. Then they were like $30, and then they were like $60.
Yeah.
And then they were like $90, and I was like, whoa! And I was just scrolling down my feed, and I'm like,
wait a minute,
this card just went nuts from here to here to here. It jumped so fast.
Yeah, I don't even. It has to be American hype. E-Man has an important thing to say. He says 2016 Donruss, the rated rookie, or I think for selling for $600. Then he says Pulisic.
Yeah, so, I know that card. Yeah. I know that card. It's
I think it's Donruss debuts is what he's talking about.
Yeah, it looks like a rated rookie. It has the same little writing up there. It's like rated rookie, but for soccer they call it something else.
Right.
But I know what card he's talking about. I remember looking at those in PSA 10s when they were $50.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's over $1,000.
Yeah, that's the craziness of it. I remember looking at that card, and it's a paper card. It does have hollow versions and things like that, but it's a paper card. It's not chromium. And I remember looking at that at like $50 in a PSA 10, and I remember looking at it when it was $99 in a PSA 10. It had gone up some. I didn't buy them. This is just an example of I don't You know, I'm not smart to everything, guys. I miss cards too. You know, I missed those.
Exactly.
I remember looking at them, but you know, sometimes you just can't pull the trigger on something like that.
Most definitely. And Iman says the PSA 10s are 1K. Damn.
Yeah,
So
doesn't doubt me. I
yeah,
mean, it's a sell. If I had them, I wouldn't be sitting on them for 1,000. I would be selling them.
right. Potentially, like in our opinion, right? But who knows? They could actually go higher.
Yeah, they could,
But
but to
I don't
me,
see it. But
if I got in at when I saw them at 50 to 100, it would
yeah.
be a sell for me at that point.
Well, it's a thing we were just talking about, right, Steve? Like sometimes, like you have to take your profits, especially
Yeah.
when you're talking about buying maybe what a raw for what 10 or 20. If you're talking
Hmm.
about a PSA 10 for 50, for 20 for $20 to 600. Sometimes you just got to take that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and then card collector asked about second year optic Luca. I don't know what you think about that.
Um. Okay, so my opinion has changed, and I've stated in the past. I've never stated on a live stream or in a video,
Okay,
but like on Instagram, people ask opinions and stuff.
right.
Um, I was not a big believer in second year cards.
Mm,
Um, I'm still not super sold on second year cards
right.
on young players.
Okay.
Um, just because they don't have many cards out as it is. You know, Luca's second year card is this year.
Yes.
Now, if you're talking to LeBron second year, you're going back to 2004, 2005. You
Mm,
know, if you're talking to a Kevin Durant second year, you're going back to 2008. You're talking about a card that's already, you know, over 10 years old at least. Um, I really think you have to be, when you start buying second and third year cards of somebody, I think you have to be a Hall of Fame caliber player already established.
great.
Luca, hey, if he plays like he's playing now,
Then
he'll be an all time great.
right.
But I can't see what's going to happen in the next 10 years. Um, there's one thing I've noticed about Luca. Everybody loves. I love Luca's game, and I'm going to
Right.
say something slightly negative about it, and people are probably going to disagree. But
No, no, no. Please, please.
he has sensitive ankles.
Interesting.
That sounds funny, but I've noticed it just from watching him. He tends to tweak or twist an ankle every night. Now he doesn't come off the court. He doesn't come off the court, but you'll see him make a great crossover, drive to the basket, dish the ball off to somebody, a highlight play, and you'll see him limping up the court.
Wow.
It doesn't happen often, but if you watch enough of their games, you will notice. I just think that uh, he could have something like that. He could have something that hurts his longevity,
Yeah,
basically.
possibly. Yeah.
And it happened to Larry Bird. I was a huge Larry Bird fan. Larry Bird's one of the best ever, but he
Right.
still had a good 5 years left in him, and then his back went out on him. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, everybody's like, you know, Bird's still going to be the man for 5 more years, and then all of a sudden, his back went out on him, and he was done. He
Dang.
had already concreted his legacy, thank God. But
Yeah.
you know, do I think it's something that's going to bother Luca in the next 5 years? No. But if, you know, he's already had a couple ding injuries here and there. Um, I will say he's put on some muscle during the. He come back bigger from quarantine, bigger in a good way,
I think so. Yeah.
and he's stronger. You see him muscling in the paint a little bit more and
Yeah.
things like that.
True.
But if ankles were an issue with him, that extra weight.
Yes. Mhm.
So I don't know what's the lesser of two evils. I think he's going to be great. Do I think buying second year cards of him is a good investment at the right price? Everything's a good investment.
That's true. That's true.
So it all depends on what you're looking at. You know, I don't know what the price on a second year optic is.
But it's more than $1 though. What he picked it up for? That's all I know. Because he
Yeah,
said
I mean, if you bought that for $1, I'd buy as many of them as I saw for $1,
yeah.
just because it's got Luca's face on it.
Exactly.
You know,
This is a new
you,
market.
you'd probably sell a cereal box with his face on it for more than $1.
Yeah, that's a thing, right? And then the Iman says the Luca Chronicles rookie is $15. That's the cheapest I've ever heard of a rookie Doncic. So
Yeah, I think 2018 Chronicles has a bunch of different cards, and they all look different. They all have different printings. I guess it like chronicles like maybe the first year of his career, and it's talking about this time, this game. I'm not really sure when you single out. I guess they're all rookie cards, and then the market's just going to kind of dictate which one is the rookie card that everybody wants.
Yeah, that's true. You're exactly right. And we've seen this with soccer time and time again. The consumer demand really controls what is a rookie. So
yeah, like you look at the stickers and you look at the cards, and you're like, a Prism shouldn't be worth more than his sticker that, Messi, who had a sticker back 10 years before he had a Prism card, but the market is telling you that it is, so you can't deny the numbers. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it is.
And Messi has 10 years of cards and stickers previously, but look, if people really like the 2014 Prism, then that's what it is.
Well, now his mega cracks are cards, correct?
Yes.
His high dollar mega cracks cards.
His high dollar.
Those are high dollar. I'm talking like 40 grand for a PSA 10 or even upwards probably. But those were back. I saw some of those before. But yeah, those are crazy expensive.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a couple like Autografo and Barca Campeon that are under 10,000. So.
Oh.
Yeah, but this guy's my guy Al says, "Sup guys? What about a new brand of cards? First card in combo with New Jersey/team." I don't get it. Do you know?
Maybe like a first card with a new team or a new jersey.
Yeah, maybe.
I do like that. I do like that because most of the time you're talking about an already established player. In this case, we're talking about LeBron with the Lakers. He's already a Hall of Famer. You're talking about Anthony Davis with the Lakers, who's already an established player, whether or not he's a Hall of Famer or not. Exactly. He's a perennial all-star. You're talking about Russell Westbrook going to the Rockets this year. You're talking about Kevin Durant and his first, Kawhi and his first Clippers. But it goes back to saying these guys are all established superstars. Where Luka's in his second year in the league, so you're talking about his second-year card being this year,
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a little different. There was one, and he's younger, and I've actually showed this card in the mail days and super cheap investments leading into the NBA playoffs. There was a card I was talking about. It was this year's Prism, Kristaps, because it's his first Prism card in a Mavericks uniform.
Right, I have one of those. Yeah.
Now, he's not a Hall of Famer. Not yet. I mean, he could be. He's playing great. He's in a good market. Mark Cuban don't want that team to lose. He's always going to put talent on the floor.
Yeah.
Dallas is a pretty good market. Yeah, he's playing with Luka, so he's going to be seen. And his Prism Silver 2019 is a $2 buy. So, like I said, it's all about the price. Luka second-year cards are good buys at the price. I think a Kristaps first Mavericks Silver Prism at $2 is a good buy at the price. Right. 2012 Select James Harden, which is his first Rockets card. Okay, so 2012 has the iconic Prism set.
Okay, yeah, that's his first year.
But he's in an OKC uniform. It wasn't until the Select was released that he's on the Rockets.
Oh, so that's a big deal.
That's his first Rockets card. People don't know about that card. People don't know it exists. They probably think his first Rocket card's in 2013. I buy that card all day long for $3. I see him on eBay, $3. Give me that card. Jeez. Not only is it his first Rockets card, it's his first Select card. And, people have kind of tapered off. Okay, first Prism, now I'm going to buy the first Select. So it's got two things going for it. First Select, first Rockets team card. If they make a playoff push, all the Rocket fans that can't afford $2,000 for a rookie card of his are going to want his first Rockets card.
Yeah, that's the whole game right there. That's the whole game, in my opinion. Because these people, I mean, there's eventually going to be a point where people can't afford the rookies. They're thousands of dollars.
Right. And especially if you're a fan of the team.
Yes.
Now, if you're a fan of the player, you're going to want to buy whatever he has. Regardless of the team. But if you like James Harden because he plays for the Rockets, then you want him in a card on the Rockets.
Yeah. That's a very interesting point right there. And then what do you think the the large market would have the even greater effect. And when you're talking about this first team thing.
Yeah, well, because rookie cards are becoming outpriced, people are starting to look for what is another nice card, and they're tending to look for second year cards, of course. And you have new people coming into the hobby, and they are looking for something. People want something, and sometimes they have to settle for second, third, and even fourth options. So you're talking about second year cards, third year cards, first jersey cards, and yeah, like James Harden. I was looking at his rookies, and they're really high. There's a James Harden card I've been buying. I could. Okay, I'll tell you. I bought a couple. I actually got a couple graded. Is a 2007. Okay, 2007 McDonald's All American team made by Topps.
Oh wow! I heard you talking about this in like sort of a chat or something.
So it's a high school All American or the All American game that the high schoolers play in before they get drafted, and or go to college or where they get drafted or whatever. There's one in 2007 for James Harden. You can pick them up for like raw for like $15 or $20.
Wow.
Graded PSA 10s are like 300. I mean, if you can grab yourself a couple of raws and get 9s out of them, or even hold them, I mean, his Topps rookie is like $2,000. I think it's pushing up there somewhere in a PSA 10. Grab yourself a McDonald's All American card. You got to zig or you got to zag every once in a while, and look for a card that's not on the market. I mean, look at the European card of Luka that just all of a sudden has taken off.
The Real Madrid.
It was like Prism was the card. That Real Madrid card has taken off. Yeah. So if you look at that and you try to follow a trend, if people are buying XRCs now, extended rookie cards, well, who else has extended rookie cards? Oh, well, James Harden has one in a 2007 McDonald's set, and so does Kevin Durant in a 2006 McDonald's set.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. The high school basketball card. I never really thought of that. That's
it's an option. I mean, I could be looking back today and be like, man, that was a bad investment. But when you see prices on some of the rookie cards, and then you see some cards that are potential rookie cards or nice novelty cards, I buy a little bit of everything because you never know what's going to happen in the market. I bought some tennis cards.
Wow.
Like this is probably the favorite. This is probably one of the favorite cards in my entire collection right here, if I can find it.
Yeah.
Oh, look what I pulled. Look what I pulled. This isn't it, but this is a card that I just bought.
The Ronaldo. You got a 2014 right there. 9.
Yeah, that's a true gem. It's all 9.5. It's a true gem. So I'm going to send this to PSA and see if they'll cross it.
Yeah, maybe so. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm gonna send that and see if they cross that. I'm gonna see if they'll cross this.
Ooh, SGC 10 Messi
2014. The light's all in there, but yeah, I'm gonna see if they'll cross the Messi. They may not. I'm gonna send them together. My strategy is I'm gonna send them together. If they deny me one, maybe they'll give me the other one.
Right. I mean, who knows, right? Man, those are excellent cards, but yeah. And then Al also said, your point earlier, you were talking about Luka Doncic, and you were talking about how he had sensitive ankles, which is a very excellent point. But he says you never know if they get hurt. Like Zion has an issue with body weight, maturation, and funky movement pattern. Yeah, I see that a lot. I know what he's talking about there.
Yeah, so talking about buying crazy stuff, E-Man knows about this card. I think he has one too. This is a Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, wow. Really?
An old Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's out before like his cards came out. It was from like a trivia game.
What? Really?
Yeah, that's a 8. I picked that up off ComC for like $20. I'm like, hey, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair cards sell for crazy amounts of money.
Yeah.
And this is my favorite card. I only bought this because I personally liked it. But this is a Tony Hawk 1990s Sports Illustrated for kids, BGS 8.5. There's like none of these in population graded as an 8.5.
Yeah.
But Tony Hawk, this was like a hero of mine growing up.
Wow, that's a very awesome move. And he's kind of an icon, right?
Yeah, he's a pop culture icon, not just a sports icon. I mean, So I just picked this kind of with different stuff up. You know, I do mostly the basketball and the soccer, but I find cool, neat things like that every once in a while.
That's very cool, and that's very important to kind of go your own way with all those Tony Hawks and Steve Austins. That would be my tip for anybody watching. Kind of do your own thing, because if it does pop, you're gonna have a way more return, right?
Yeah, like this. I had $30 for this already graded. It's a I don't know if you like tennis, but it's a Roger Federer.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So I was like $30. Buy it now. I was like, give me the goat. You know,
give me the goat. I mean, yeah.
Give me the goat for $30. What could happen? I mean, if somebody someday, if tennis cards ever become popular, what's going to be the first player that everybody wants to buy?
I mean, exactly. E-Man says, I want that Tony Hawk. E-Man, man.
Yeah, Tony Hawk.
Yeah. Car collector. He says, oh, okay. He says he has a seller. He's talking about mislabels, basically. Huh. Okay, I kind of don't, I don't understand. Man, I hate to do this to everybody, but I might have to wrap this up pretty soon.
Yeah, we run along. I mean, I don't mind, but you know, it is long.
It is long.
But we have to get together again, man. This was a blast.
Dude, this is so much fun. My apologies about technical difficulty. Right?
Oh man, I already forgot about that, man. It's all good.
All good. Because I have special Wi-Fi.
Hey, first live stream, man. Hey, gotta work out the kinks, baby.
Dude, I don't know what happened. Where it came out so well after a while, man. Man, any final thoughts, Steve? You want to get out or anything at all, man? Anything you want to promote, or I mean?
Well, I got my channel. You know, I got my channel. You guys are welcome. It's Flippin' Steve, just like my name. Simple. You know, I just talk a lot about the stuff that I'm buying. It's not really like a hype or a pump channel. I don't really say, hey, get these cards. I basically just show you what I'm doing. If I'm not buying a card, I'm not going to tell anybody to buy it. I'm the type of person who likes to let my actions speak for myself. So I'll show you my mail days. I'll say, I'm buying this stuff. Here it is. If I make money, if you guys buy it, we either make or we lose together. It's not me saying, hey, go buy this card, but I'm sitting over here in the corner being like, well, they're gambling. I'm not, you know. Yeah. And it's, you know, I'm not a businessman. You know, I'm not an investment or a financial advisor. I work at a casino. I'm a table games manager in a casino. I know a lot about gambling. I know a lot about sports book. I know a lot about, you know, your odds and making your money work in your favor, your decisions work in your favor. That's my perspective on it from a casino or a gambler's perspective. I'm not a gambler, but I see what goes on. So, yeah, it's not a professional opinion or anything. It's just a guy works in a casino that likes cards and buys cards and shows you guys what I'm doing. And if you like what I'm doing, that's cool. And if you don't like what I'm doing, that's cool too. Because if everybody followed suit, there wouldn't be much of a hobby. And that's pretty much it. You know, I do a lot of giveaways. Yeah, I do the giveaways because I understand that it's hard. It's hard to get stuff these days, especially if times are tough, especially with the pandemic going on. Exactly. You can't find wax. Forget about it.
Oh, no way.
It doesn't hit the shelves. And if we had more time, I could tell you an amazing story about that.
We have to save that for another time. But
yeah, I would tell you that story, though. But it doesn't hit the shelves, guys. The vendors very rarely put it out. People buy it before the vendors even enter the stores.
Especially the soccer stuff, it's
gone. So I try to give back. If I run across packs, I buy them and I give them away on my channel. I don't open wax. I really don't. If I come across packs, I put them on my channel to give away because I know people can't get their hands on it. If I get a couple nice singles extras that I get dirt cheap, I'm giving away in my next video on Optic LeBron, and in the video after that, I'm giving away a Prism LeBron from this year. That raw card has hit $100. I mean, when I announced the giveaway, it was like $30. Now it's selling raw for $100. I got it in a break that I paid like $10 to get in. So it's like, yeah, could I take this and put it on eBay and make money? I could, but I'm not really invested in it, so somebody else will enjoy this card more than I will.
Whoa.
I'll make my money off the stuff that I intend. There's certain cards I buy to intend to make money off of. So if I luck into a card, if it's going to bring somebody else some enjoyment or even some money, maybe somebody can buy that and sell it and buy something that they really like.
Most definitely.
That's,
man.
I just, I'm not a selfish person. and
Wow.
and then Anthony Davis, 19 or this year, first Laker uniform optic checkerboard. That'll be given away like 2 or 3 videos from my next video.
Holy crap.
I ended up with 2 of those. I intended on buying one. I put in a bid on an auction.
Wow.
I went to ComC and saw one for sale at a price that I just couldn't turn down, and I bought it. And then I didn't get outbid on eBay, which I thought I would. The auction ran out. I put my bid in like 2 days before it ran out. So I ended up with 2, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give one of these away as one of my subscriber giveaways.
Wow, that is so generous, man. Like you're saying, here's a 30,000 card, but it went to 100, but you're still giving it away for the love of the people.
Yeah, I mean, when I put it in the giveaway, it was a $30 card, and just because it goes up to 100, I mean, the market moves so fast. I'm not surprised that it went up, but it went up to $100. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be like, oh, never mind, I'm not giving this away, guys. No, man, on my word, somebody's going to get that LeBron card. Good luck to everybody who signs up to get it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it. That's all my channel is. Just me talking about what I'm doing, trying to help people out. I don't always know everything. I'm getting into soccer. I mispronounce soccer players' names.
It's okay.
It is what it is,
It is what it is, dude. It's okay. And I respect you. Like, you walk the walk, you talk the talk. I'm trying to be like that too. So I learned a lot from your channel, man. So it's awesome. Okay, guys. Okay, I'm ending. It's done. No questions. Sorry. Thank you guys so much. We are all done. I hope we can do this again, Flipping Steve. So
yeah, man.
Maybe on your channel, whatever. But okay, I'm ending this. It's been your boy Brandon Chung and
Flipping Steve, guys.
Steve. Until next time.